Hi there. My name is Allison Borg Bridges. I'm the owner of Living Modern Rentals, Curl Evolution Hair Salon, and Curlfection Hair Products. I want to give you an overview of Living Modern Rentals and how we got started in real estate, and then give you some goal setting techniques, practices that we use, my husband and I use on a daily basis, and some guides that might help you with your goal setting. So right now we're going into the winter of 2022, but these are things that you could start at any time. Let me just screen share here. And I have a PowerPoint for you. So there I am. That's my company logo, Living Modern Rentals. So I'm a real estate and business investor. I have 4 beautiful children, and I have definitely found a passion for teaching about money and mindset, and some blocks that people have, because I had those blocks myself for a long time, and starting with the children while they're young, teaching them different techniques and habits about money now, I feel like is very important. And we're just definitely trying to put that out there to others through our cash flow meetups and things like that. So we have a children's meetup that we do once a month during the school year. And we also have some adult networking, cash flow game nights and networking. So I retired my job of a hairdresser in 2017 when I was 36 years old. So I wanted to stay home with my children. My husband, Tim, had already been home for a while. We decided that he would stay home when my 3rd child was born, Logan. So he's been home for 12 years now. And then I retired in 2017. So I just wanted to be home with them and do all the mom things, cookies in the afternoon after bus, and be the class mom and all that good stuff. Didn't want to miss out on any of that. So I definitely choose my projects and things that I work up on now are based on my lifestyle. I like to travel. I like to network. I want to do things that I feel are fun and they fit my strong points. And then I definitely like to pass the things that I don't like to do to, or I know that I'm not leaning into my best self by doing them. I like to pass those off to other people that do a great job with it, because they're going to do so much better of a job than I'm doing. So I still own the salon. I own the hair care brand, but I don't manage the day-to-day operations. We have some wonderful managers in place. They're doing a great job, better than I was doing, because their attention is on it 100%. And so that's what I'm excited that they have the opportunity to have that position, and I have the opportunity to step back and be more of the visionary for that. And they execute on that vision, which is really fun to see that come to play. So I want to make sure that I have an intention about what we're doing today. So my goal today is for you to leave with some clarity. After you watch this video, I would love for you to leave with some clarity around your own goals. Take something back with you, whether it's a book recommendation, a technique, a practice, something that makes you 1% better every day. That's always my goal, is make myself 1% better every day, whether I learn something, I watch something, I read something, I listen to a podcast, an action I take, whatever it might be. And to dial into your own vision and your own unique lifestyle. After I had retired my 9 to 5 as a hairdresser and stepped back and had a little bit more space and a little bit more time, I was able to dial in a lot better on my vision. And so today I'll share with you also how I was able to clarify that vision, and just some techniques and books and things that I would definitely recommend, especially if you feel like you need to get a little bit more clear on your own goals. So these are, it's the winter of 2022. We're going into that right now. It's December right now. So we're going to be, celebrating the new year, and that's always a great time to set up new goals. But I would definitely recommend that you do this any time of the year. Get it going and start doing any of the techniques. Don't wait for the next, cycle of, oh, I'll do it next year. Just do it right away for this year, wherever it is, wherever it may be for you and when you're watching this, and move forward right from there, because you can pick up any of these practices, and it's going to definitely enhance what you're doing, and you're creating your own lifestyle design just by putting that out into the universe, basically. So I wanted to talk about imposter syndrome. So this is definitely something that, when you're setting your big goals, sometimes it can feel like you don't either deserve those goals, or this is not what you feel. You feel that you deserve them, or you feel like you're being fake about them. And that is definitely something that is around self-doubt and self-esteem. And I just want you to know that you do deserve those goals that you're setting for yourself. And the time and attention that you take to visit them constantly, you will find that you are going to fall right into those goals. So don't let that imposter syndrome get in your headspace. It has no space there. So whatever it is that you feel is your path and your goal is meant to be there, and aim high, because that's where you're going to wind up. So a little bit about me, just so that you understand, where I'm coming from a little bit, and also maybe you see a little bit of your own story in our story, whether it be, a hiccup we had, or just, just something in general. So in 1996, I was, 15 years old, 10th grade. I got kicked out of high school, cutting class. It didn't speak to me, what I was learning. I didn't understand how I would see relevance in, knowing about, history, or it just didn't. I'm more of a hands-on person, hands-on learner. And so I didn't jive with the traditional school trajectory. College just did not seem to entice me whatsoever. And I wound up getting kicked out of school anyway at 15, and I got sent to a trade school, BOCES, on Long Island in Dix Hills. And so you had to choose a career. So I said, well, fine, hairdressing sounds easy, I'll do that. And that's how I wound up as a hairdresser. I wound up staying in the trade school, completing the hours, and I did actually graduate, and I graduated on time out of my home school. Wound up being able to get back in the following year and take care of what I needed to take care of. So I am graduated from high school. And then I also met my high school sweetheart, Tim, in high school, and I was married at the age of 18. So I was married young, and I had a profession that people don't generally think of as being a successful profession. I think it's important not to let people define you when they're talking about, people have different things that they say around different professions, and it's just not, it's not necessarily true just because they say that. If they say a hairdresser is not going to ever earn a lot, a decent amount of money, or a plumber or electrician, any of those trade schools, absolutely not true. So 2004, I had my first baby. We read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Tim and I was like fired up. We were fired up about real estate. I think that's where like a lot of people started, was reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Only we were very excited about it. We just didn't know how to put it into play. We didn't know how to execute after that. We understood the concept. I got the concept, and I'm so glad that I read that then, because that started to put, the different quadrants in my head about, business, investor, and employee, and just understanding all of the roles and the importance of each role, and how to move through them. So I had that in the back of my mind always, but as far as executing in real estate, I didn't understand necessarily how to. My husband was also working at a deli, so he was in deli, I was in hair, and we were just, kind of doing a month, week to week as far as paychecks go. So in 2004, after I came back from maternity leave, I have decided that I wanted to start a cleaning business, because I wanted to start learning about how to create systems, as Robert Kiyosaki had talked about with businesses and real estate. So I did start a cleaning business, and then that was a little tricky because that's again another business that people look down upon, and really I was learning my systems rather than, and I had to tune out people that maybe didn't feel that I was being successful at that time. Even family members that were embarrassed that I was cleaning houses, but I was truly learning systems, and I was learning to put systems in place, learning SOPs, and then allowing a couple of employees that I had to execute. So I was testing out how to run a business. So then in 2004, I opened, 2006, sorry, I bought a salon business. And the same day that I bought the salon business, I had opened the doors, closed on the business. I found out I was pregnant with baby number 2. So all good laid plans. So that was just a very difficult year because I didn't understand the numbers of a business. And we wound up losing a good 75% of those clients because the business I bought was not necessarily the clientele that I was originally trying to attract, and just trying to get that business afloat that was a difficult time. But during that time, we actually got the opportunity to go to a real estate wealth expo. It was Donald Trump, Robert Kiyosaki, and Tony Robbins, and it was so exciting. Like, it was a great expo at the Jacob Javits Center in New York City. We had a great time. Again, fired up. We loved it. We knew we wanted to get into real estate, and then we just didn't know how to execute. So between 2006 and 2017 is kind of a whirlwind. We had 2 more babies. Tim's a stay-at-home dad, so already money is tight again, and we're just doing the day-to-day, not really necessarily goal setting, but like years pass and years pass, and we're not really paying attention to what is happening. But in the back of my mind, I've got that rich dad, poor dad kind of thought process. And in, I guess about 2015 or so, I finally was like getting my stuff together, where more of a David Ramsey style, pay down expenses, pay off the house, pay off cars, no bad debt, and really just get the monthly expenses down. And then because I was starting to feel like I was missing out on too much, being that I was working and my husband was home and I wanted to be home too. So that was when I was able to, quote unquote, retire or be financially independent in 2016, where I got my expenses low enough that the salon revenue was able to cover that. And that's how I was able to leave my job as a hairdresser. So, but that's really where my story begins, because that was when 2018 I was able to find bigger pockets. So as I was retired and home with the kids and basically just, going to Big Lots, Marshalls every day, I didn't know what to do with myself. I had lost, sort of a sense of purpose. And I was in the laundry room a lot, because with 4 children, you're in the laundry room a lot. And downstairs, I found that I was bored and I needed some more, mental stimulation. And I found the Bigger Pockets podcast. And it was like such a huge aha moment, because I could finally learn to execute. So on Bigger Pockets, I just listened for 2018. I just listened and read the book, read books and listened to their guests, and started, just paying attention, taking notes, and again, got really fired up about real estate. But now this time we were able to execute. So in 2019, we bought our first rental house in the town that we live in, and we made all the mistakes. It took 7 months to rehab. We did things out of order. It was kind of a mess, but a lot of fun. And we got to work together when the kids were in school. And we learned a lot, and we were able to refinance that property, pull all the money back out again, plus some more. And then we bought our second property in 2020. We did it again, same town we live in. We bought a house, did the BRRRR method. We were under contract on another house, and then COVID hit, and I just got kind of scared, and I was like, I'm just going to release the contract, and that was it. So we just bought one house and one house. Then in 2021, we started getting a lot more into coaching, utilizing coaches, and just doing more daily tracking and planning. And that's when things really accelerated. So this is 2021. We're still in it, and we've done the most amount of traveling. I've been all over the country, all over, Mexico, everything that anybody asked me to do for travel that I thought was fun, I said yes to this year. So it's been really a fun year. And my theme this year was have more fun, because, when you're doing more of a Dave Ramsey style lifestyle, maybe you're not paying attention to trying to have the most fun that you can. And that's what we're here to grow and learn and have fun and enjoy our kids and do different things with them. And so I wanted to enjoy that more, and having a coach really brought that out. So I've bought the most amount of real estate in 2021, and also traveled and probably had the most fun in 2021, which is awesome. And that's why I want to share it with you, because it was just such an impact in our lifestyle. So we bought a 9-unit. In the beginning of the year, we bought a 4-unit, and we bought a short-term rental. And we're currently under contract under a 6-unit and short-term rental. So we're definitely moving forward. These are all properties that I self-manage, and my husband, Tim, is an excellent contractor, and he is fantastic at rehabs and doing that sort of thing. So he will go and do that aspect of it, and I try to stay in my lane of acquisitions and management, property management. So, and then we also have partners on 242 units in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and then 5 mobile home parks across the US. And this all came to fruition in 2021 because we got a lot more intentional about what it was that we were going after. And I also needed to try out some things too. So that's why you see some variations in what we did purchase. We, with partners, we have long-term rentals, we have short-term rentals, because we're trying to figure out our flow and what we enjoy. And, we enjoy all of these things. We enjoy the long-term rentals and providing safe, affordable rentals for people, and that are managed well, and on top of repairs and things like that, and just providing a good level of landlording to people. And then our short-term rentals are more fun, like family fun, things that we would look for when we had small kids and we needed to rent a house or something like that, because we weren't staying in hotel rooms at that time when our kids were little. So we want to put a lot of fun and theme rooms into our short-term rentals so that kids and families are excited to come and spend some time in our house and just enjoy and, have a good time together. So I definitely have been coached to create a lifestyle by design. And by starting with more of that end in mind, how do you want the year to be? I want the year to be, travel. I have a theme of fun. I want to enjoy life, and I want to, also get my investments and do all those things and do things that I enjoy doing. So understanding where you shine, and then also where it needs to be passed off. So if you know that you are doing well, doing one thing, but not another, you need to look for a way to hand that off. And it could be something as simple as actually, and this is kind of funny, because now that I'm doing property management and different things and acquisitions during the day, I do it while the kids are in school. I no longer have time for like doing laundry and things like that. So that all gets passed off, and somebody comes and picks it up and brings it back to me. And it's just better, because I can spend the time doing where I do best and let them go do best, because before it was just, sitting in the basement piling up, and kids didn't have laundry because I was paying attention to other things that for the business. And also, I am not great with designing things like this. So this is something that gets passed off. Something like the PowerPoint. It's so much better when Denise, the lady that works with me doing these type of stylings and social media things, pass it to her. It's back the same day, where for me to learn to do this and save money by learning to do this would have taken me probably a few months to get the time and attention, because it's just not my, it's not my lane. Certainly not. I would do things like that when I first started with my business. I definitely do not do things like that now. I've been in business total 17 years with the cleaning business, between the cleaning business, the hair salon, and the product line company, and now Living Modern Rentals. Don't grind through unless you see an end. So sometimes, like in the beginning, I was working as one of the cleaning people to get those systems and processes in place, but I had an end in mind. And that's just definitely something that I can pull from my own life. Like if you are feeling like, okay, this doesn't line up, it's not something I want to do, but you've got an end in mind that you're not going to be doing this forever. You just need to learn this. You need to learn this piece of it, this part of the puzzle, and then you can move on and pass it on, because sometimes you do need to do that to understand what it is that you need from other people. Does this thing that I'm talking or thinking about feel heavy or light? And I'm sure if you listen to Bigger Pockets, you hear that all the time. And it's so very true. If it feels like it's weighing on you, then maybe it's definitely not in your lane, and you need to figure out a way to either pass it off or eliminate it, or whatever it might need to be to do. I'm really good at doing this. I'm creating the bottleneck. So I will have myself in place and hold on to that last little bit of something, but I need to let it go and let somebody else handle it and take care of it and not get in their way. So you have to ask yourself, are you creating your own bottlenecks? Are you creating instances where you're actually stopping the flow of work, or because of something that you're doing? So it's just really looking at yourself and seeing yourself doing things repetitively, and do you need to get out of your own way, basically. And what have I always wanted to do? And I thought that this was really good, because in 2021, we looked at more things of like, well, what are the things, like almost like like a bucket list, almost like, what do you want it to look like? What do you want to be doing? And so it's really important to kind of get clear on that. And if you start a little list of your bucket items that you definitely want to have energy and time for, and just put something on the calendar, one a year, even if that's all it is, something on the calendar. So this year, my something is, we have always wanted to take the kids to Europe, and I was sitting down and thinking about it, and Gwyneth is going into 12th grade next year, and I was like, oh my goodness, if we don't do it this upcoming summer, she's going to be getting ready to go to college or whatever it is that she chooses to do after this. And my time's up. There's only 18 summers that your kid is a kid. And so that was just a realization when you sit down and you actually start to like do the math and, all right, well, what are the things that you really want to do? So I booked the trip. And so we booked it, and we're moving forward with that. And at least it's nice to say, okay, we'll figure out the other details, but at least I know I've got it booked, and the rest will come into play. But that was definitely something that was on our goal list. And it's just hard to believe that it's already here, that we're looking at, our 18th summer now with Gwyneth, and she'll be, doing her own thing really shortly. So this is a big one. Everybody always talks about your business plan. Get your business plan together, get your business plan together. Yeah, well, what about your family plan? So this we've done actually 3 years in a row now. There's I added a bit.ly here if you want to just take a picture of that, or I'll put a link in the comments. This is a great guide. So we've been doing this for 3 years now. This is something Tim and I do. We set up our family plan before I look at the business plan for the year. So setting, because if your goals on your business are, X, Y, Z, and to hit those goals, you're going to be working 70, 80 hours a week, but you didn't look at your family plan. Do you need to spend more time at home? Do you need to help your spouse out? Is your spouse satisfied with how things are going at home? Things like that. And just, it opens you up for conversations. So this is a guide by Jay and Wendy Papasan, and it's wonderful. And it goes with a book that they wrote, but this guide is a free PDF download. And so that Bitly app right there, or you can just Google Kick-Ass Guide to Your Couples Goal Setting Retreat. It's just a wonderful publication that they put out for free for everyone. And we are supposed to do it as a retreat and getting away for the weekend, and they have a whole schedule for you. We've never done it as a retreat. We've always done it at Panera Bread. So the kids will go to school and it will take a couple of days, but we'll go for several hours and just sit in the booth and have conversations. And I'm sure it's a lot more relaxing to do it as a retreat. And if you can do it as a treat, that's awesome. The first years that we did it as a retreat, it's just always December when we're doing it, and it's hectic and it's not exactly the right time. And 2 of my kids are born Christmas week, so that adds extra birthdays in, and it's just difficult to get away. But if you can do it as a retreat, I'm sure it's amazing. And but it's definitely something that even if you can't get it as a retreat or you don't have that kind of time, just do it anyway, even if it's over a couple of nights. But I would always recommend that when you're doing goal setting and things like that, get out of your house, get out of your space. Don't do it in your office, go somewhere else. So just change that scenery. It's kind of like, a kid that is throwing a temper tantrum or something at home, and they just really need to like get out of the house or go for a walk or change it up and get new ideas flowing. And it's the same sort of thing. Just get them out, get yourself out, get your spouse out. And if you do not have a spouse or a significant other, you can do this by yourself. So it's definitely something that you can go through the questions and ask yourself. And then set your own goals around your family life, and now go into your business plan with whatever your business is. So even if you are working as an employee for someone else's business, or however it is that you are, making your money, it doesn't matter. You can still create a business plan around your business of work, because you're certainly going to be able to clarify your goals there. So this was a big one, a big business overview here, big overview of creating a vision. And again, this is something that Cameron Herold it's a book that he put out. It's a short book. You can read this very quickly. I know Brandon Turner talks about this one a lot. It definitely lives up to the hype that he puts around it. I've done this for my all 3 businesses that I own: Living Modern, Curlfection, Curl Evolution. So it's creating that 5-year plan and putting it into words. So this book, you can read it in like, I don't know, hour and a half. It doesn't take very long to read. It's a short book. Totally get it in the hardcover. I would skip the Audible, go for hardcover. That way you can hold it in your hands and stop and think if you need to, and then write out your vivid vision. And then my marketing art department lady, Miss Denise, put together for me so much better than I would have put it together. So she takes my words and puts it into vibrant color, and that's awesome because I am a hands-on visual learner, and so this really just speaks to me so much more. So this is my vivid vision for Living Modern Rentals, and these are just some goals that I have for the next 4 years as we move forward, and we are on track for year 1. And this is my passive monthly income, and just continuously putting that money back into the business to grow the business, and how we choose where we go, the culture of the company, the type of people that we want to work with, the type of contractors that we're going to use, our investors. We have investors in our company because, we need to, as you grow, you need to bring in money partners and JV partners and things like that. It's about those future forward looking things. So I've got this dated as January 1st, 2025. So right now we are on track. It's been in play for 1 year right now. And so it's just really nice to put it out there and see it come to fruition again. But that's the thing, is that you have to put it out there to start. So a few things that definitely help when you're trying to put together your, your family goals and your business plan is to dial in with some thinking time. So I usually do this quarterly, where I'll book a day, half a day, and just, kind of think about the things that I want to put into action. Think about, am I actually doing the actions that I need to do to get on track for the goals that we've set? So we set those yearly goals for our family, we set the yearly goals for the businesses, but then we actually look in on them quarterly. And so that's where that thinking time comes in, is, am I actually taking the actions I need, or do I need to adjust course? So that's definitely helpful, just to make sure that the year doesn't go by and, when you don't hit the goals, it's like, well, what happened? Well, I'm checking in on a quarterly basis to make sure that I'm doing exactly what I said I wanted to do. What did I say in the beginning of the year I wanted? And am I actually hitting that? And then, so then again, that comes back to your actions. What actions are you doing? And then does your day look like somebody that's going to hit the goals that you've set for yourself? So just checking in, just being real about, are you doing what you said you were going to do, or are you copping out on yourself and, almost lying to yourself about what your goals are? So a few things that also will help you along with the quarterly is an accountability group. So I've joined a bunch of accountability groups, some free, some not. And when you pay for something, it tends to make you show up a little bit more, makes the people in the group show up a little bit more, which is nice. So I would definitely say, if you find an accountability group that you can pay for, go for it. And true good accountability partners will call you out if your actions are not aligned up with what you said you were going to do. So if you're having your call weekly, and sometimes we'll have our call and then we'll text each other what our goals are for the week. And then, when somebody asks me next week, like, well, how come this didn't happen? You didn't do this thing that you said you were going to do, or what happened to that? You've got somebody checking in on you. And you're doing the same for them. And that's important too. You're, with kindness, you're doing the same thing for them. Hey, you said you were going to do that. Is that still, and it's okay to change goals. And that's okay. You can always just say, I've changed my goal, I've adjusted, I've realigned, whatever. But it's just definitely important to have somebody that's going to follow up with you. So you can use an app as well. Strategic Coach has an app. It's called Win Streak, and it's good because it makes you look at things that you've done before and then the goals that you're setting for yourself now. But it's great addition to an accountability group. And if you don't have an accountability group, create one. Find one. There's definitely plenty of people on Facebook. You find your group of people of whatever it is that you're interested in, and you create your own group. People will see you as the leader, and you'll definitely attract the type of people that you're looking for. And then, you can do a daily group text as well. I've done a daily group text where it was just like, say what you're going to do today. What is your goal to get you aligned with what you are doing? But I definitely do like the call, and a call with an outline. So there's definitely plenty of free versions online as far as a call outline. Usually, but it's about an hour, and everybody kind of round robins and goes through. Are you having a struggle with something? Do you need help with something? Do you want to just talk about something that you've got going on? And then everybody sets up their goals. So that's definitely helpful. So you can join a paid group, as I spoke about. So I highly recommend Emerge from GoBundance. I'm a member of GoBundance Women, but I started in Emerge. So I went to Emerge because I just wasn't sure if GoBundance was the vibe for me. It is 100% my vibe. You know, I found my people. I'm 40 years old and I finally found my people that I really align up with. So this group is wonderful. It's run by Jamie Gruber, who actually grew up just a couple of towns away here on Long Island from me. And he just does a wonderful job getting everybody, you know, aligned with putting their vision together. And that's a great entry group to go into. And they teach you a lot. And it's certainly worthwhile to pay for some level of coaching. And then you can go to Emerge, and then you can move up into different groups if you want to. You can stay in Emerge if you like that. So Tim is actually in Emerge right now, and he's very happy in Emerge, and he's making some really great friends. And you get to, you know, just network with people that have like-minded interests with you, which is wonderful. So I've also done some one-on-one coaching, and that definitely helped me in 2021 get a lot more clear about what it was that I was doing. And it definitely accelerated the level of speed that I was able to do things. Because when I was doing it on my own and kind of like a little like floundering, 2000, and with Tim too, though, like, you know, together, 2019, 2020, we were moving a lot slower. Now that I'm clearer on what we're doing, 2021 went a lot faster as far as the speed up and the ramp up of properties that we were able to purchase, things we were able to find, partners we were able to align with, people that we felt good about partnering with. And that's important too, that you're, just because somebody wants to partner does not mean you should. And it definitely helps you get a lot more clear about where you're going with that. So I'm in the mindset coaching, and which is group coaching, and then also one-on-one coaching. That doesn't have to be this coach. It can be any coach that you align with, but coaching of some sort is super helpful. And then daily tracking. So getting a good journal that speaks to your daily rhythms and tracking your numbers and looking on a daily basis of how it is that you can move forward so that your goals are getting hit, like your yearly goals broken into quarters, broken into weeks, and then set down into daily. So taking that, where do you have to hit this week to get to where you want to hit for the quarter, to where you want to hit for the year. So break it down like that and work backwards. So that will definitely keep you a little bit more aligned with what you're doing on a daily basis, is just by writing it down. And it's really nice and fun to look back. And, you know, I have all these journals that I started with, because I really started journaling probably 2020. So 2020, I started doing a daily journal, or trying to do a daily journal. I wasn't fluid with it. I'm fluid with it now. And I have a much better morning routine now than I ever did before. And getting that alignment with what I want to do for the morning definitely helps, rather than trying to leave it for the nighttime. But you have to find your own, like, your own rhythms, but for most people it is the morning. So if you can get a little quiet time, so my routine would be that I wake up at 5:15. I'm up at 5:15, and I'll sit with my journal. I'll do a 10-minute meditation, and I'll just basically plan out my day for about 45 minutes to an hour. And then around 6:15, I'll get up and start getting the kids lunches and all that good stuff together. So scheduling yourself that time to have quiet time is very important on a daily basis, to just clarify those goals. And this, if you sign up here, this is just my newsletter. It just kind of goes over like, hey, here's the things that we're working on. We're maybe, you know, if we're looking for partners for something, if we have if we have an opportunity, for an investment. Sometimes we work with partners that are doing larger projects that they're looking for passive investors. And so if we have a relationship, I might bring that to you. So I'd love it if you would just sign up for the newsletter, and you can visit my website and book on there. You can also book a call with me. I'd like to get to know more about you as well. Any way that I can help you, I'm certainly willing and able to, but what I've shared with you in this PowerPoint is really what took it from, inching along to really taking giant steps along. And we're nowhere near the goals that we have set, but it's, and I know that we're still in, we're still in baby stages as far as the growth of the company. And, but I just saw such a giant leap this year in our mindset, Tim and I's mindset, as far as how we were dealing with our businesses and looking at our businesses and our family and our lifestyle and what we wanted to achieve versus now a year later. And so I just felt like it was very important to share it and, give out those free resources to people that could benefit from it. If you didn't know about it, great. And I hope that I reached my goal today of leaving you with something that you can take to set up your own goals, to maybe change a routine that you have in your life, or just kind of rekindled something that maybe was something that you wanted to do maybe when you were a kid, and now you brought it up and have remembered it and can put it down on a piece of paper. So hope I brought you some value today, and connect with me, please, right on our website, or sign up on our newsletter. We do cash flow clubs for adults, which is the Cash Flow Game by Robert Kiyosaki. We run that once a month. We do the same thing for kids cash flow, because I definitely have a passion. We have a passion for teaching our kids finance and mindset and money, and getting them to understand, a profit and loss statement or income and expenses, and getting that hands-on learning into their hands now while they're little and young, and they're going to go so much further as kids. So we do run a cash flow meetup for kids. That's once a month as well, and that goes out in our newsletter. And then also anything that we find of value, podcasts, books to recommend, anything like that we can put into the newsletter, we'll put that in there as well, so that will bring more value to you. And just some fun, like we have some fun things going on at our short-term rentals, like the treehouse room or the under the lake room, and we just show you some, or even our long-term rentals, we'll just show you some things that have helped our business, or just give you a little sneak peek of what's going on behind the scenes, maybe some management tips that we've come across, as far as with our long-term rentals or creating partnerships with people. And then also we have our property opportunities. Sometimes we need partners for things, but we need to have a relationship with you first, of course, and we have to make sure that it's a good fit. But things like that will, kind of put out there, and so that's it. So I hope you sign up for the newsletter, connect with us, follow me on LinkedIn, and I hope you have a fun goal setting for whatever it is that you are goal setting for next. Bye.